Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitangscha. And now you can't hear the kirtan, well, okay. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Jaina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Mahaviranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratuje Namaha. Okay, Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So you want to be in Kirtan, do you? Let's see whether we can take you into the Kirtan. You can see the size of the tullasis growing here, and there's a greenhouse just over at the back there. I can't take you because I'll lose the internet. But there's a greenhouse especially made for Tulsi Devi with all like humidity control and all kinds of ways of controlling, but still needs the human dedication. Tulsi Devi needs that dedication. And nobody's standing beside these pots, so you can't really understand how big they are. Nitai Go Hari Go. Okay, we will come back into the peace and quiet. Hare Krishna. Oh. Well, we've been in a continuous morning, and I hope, and I'm sure some of you have been, and I hope that you've all been able to have some special day today and yesterday for Srimati Radharani's appearance day today and Lalita Devi's appearance day yesterday. These are high topics. They must be treated with much respect, but we know from being with Gurudev for quite a bit, quite a long time, that there is only 7 a.m. Okay, Madhuralila. And we know that Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj, they would say, that if we do something extra on their days, then may they be happy with our attempts. Maybe may they be happy with us and help to grace us with devotion. The thing is that from above, there is no shortage of good wish, and not only good wish, but capacity to give to us everything. But the weak link is ourselves, being a poor receiver of the gifts that are being given from above. We've covered actually quite a lot of points since early in the morning till now. It means here 3 a.m. until now 1 p.m. And we've had actually basically continuous program with devotees, with the visitors, with different places on the internet. And it is actually feels very unusual that in Maryland, USA, it's only 7 a.m. If I've got the right location. But anyhow, it's very early in the morning, 7 a.m. So you have a day ahead of you. Okay. Zana wishing us a happy holiday. Sorry, I saw the chat, so I was just checking in the chat. Oh, yes. The pots are a good 2 feet in diameter. They're large. It's only 7 a.m., so I still have the whole day. And Madhusudan, Iowa, it will be 8 a.m. in Maryland. Oh, okay. My geography of USA is not very good. Kindly excuse me. Well, it's the Latvia Zoom. We've come to you, Suresh Krishnavu and Venugita Devidasi. We've come to you, Udaran Prabhu, others who are there in Latvia. And we've actually, as you can see, gathered from around the world to be with you. So I'm going to pass the microphone first to Suresh Krishna Prabhu, and we are all sitting in your living room right now. So Suresh will kindly share something with us.
Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat. Dandavat всем преданным, Dandavat.
Dandavat Maharaj.
И
Dandavat to all the
мы
devotees.
очень
Dandavat
благословены
Paramananda Prabhu.
сегодня. Особый день.
We are very blessed today. Very special day and special gathering. Here, special gathering. The day is full and wonderful weekend, beginning with the celebration of Lalita Saptami. Today, Radharani. I have a question regarding how did Gurudev Govinda Maharaj these 2 days, they're going one after another. How did he celebrate these days? How did they, could you please share his mood these days, Lalita Saptami, Radhashtami? Perhaps because you were with him. And I can share a little bit. Yesterday we started in the studio with the goal of with Bhagavad Gita. And I thought that, if we won't have any special guests, I would just read Bhagavad Gita and discuss something. And yesterday, the day of appearance of Lalita Devi, we started this tradition. And I was very happy, actually, regardless of the fact that nobody came, because yesterday, very sunny day, everyone went outside the city. Just outside the city, I don't know, Maharaj. It's an empty city, but I don't know where they went. But the fact is, I went live on Facebook, and I was very happy after reading the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita once again. And it was a huge inspiration for me, and I will continue that, and Didis will come as well. because it is very auspicious.
но эта база очень глубокая база.
This,
Очень
you know,
важна, чтобы
fundamental
открыто
things, but this
глубоко
is very
Маharaj
deep
изучал
fundamental
китайских
things.
буддов и другие
So
священные
Gurudev and
писания.
Guru Maharaj, I
Насколько
know
я помню, даже
they
первое,
said
было
to
завещание из 7
read
это
Gita,
читать Шри
and I
Гиту.
feel like the
Первое.
first instruction of
Очень
the
важно.
seventh
Вот
or
такие
handwritten is
новости,
to
и
read Bhagavad
мы
Gita
готовимся
from Gurudev.
к
So such is the news, and we are preparing
Pandita Didi, это уже будет
for the
через 2
visit
недели. Мы
of
подготовили
Pandita
в
Didi,
Вильнюсе, уже все
and that will
готово.
be in
В
2
той же
weeks.
студии, где мы Махарадж
We've
учили.
arranged
Также
Vilnius,
нам
everything is
помогают
ready, same
со
studio.
всеми переводами, со
Also,
всем.
the same
По
Valentina
вашим
is helping
стопам,
us,
так
and
сказать,
all the
идем
translation as
в
well.
Вильнюс. И
You
будет
know,
тренингая
going,
программа. Ну,
following
опять же,
your
тоже
feet,
коротко расскажу, это будет
your
через 2
feet,
недели.
your
Может быть, кто-то
example.
хочет поделиться, что-то рассказать.
So maybe someone would like to share something.
Silence. Then I can happily share a little bit about the observance of Lalita Astami and Lalita Saptami and Radhastami. And how I would be happy to share it with you is there is a website, absolutesweetness.org, I think, is it? Yes, absolutesweetness.org. And I don't quite know how you'll find it, but there are recordings from Navadip with Srila Gurudev leading the kirtans and Srila Guru Maharaj following the kirtans. And all I can say is that at the time that was posted on there, which is a little while ago, I mean, maybe some years ago, I'm not sure when, but I downloaded these and I have them on the computer. And so these recordings, they are, for me, they're magical because we were there and we are hearing, like reliving, sitting with Guru Maharaj and Gurudev on Guru Maharaj's outside veranda upstairs, where Srila Guru Maharaj had his bhajan kutir, upstairs above what essentially is the brahmachari quarters downstairs. And upstairs there is first an open veranda with a settee and 2 chairs, and then there's the narrow corridor with the famous long-armed wooden chair where Srila Guru Maharaj would sit, and then beyond that it opened out to a smaller veranda on the side overlooking the road, Govindakund and the Ganges. But on that first veranda, then we would gather by the request of Srila Guru Maharaj, actually the request of Gurudev, who's made arrangement with Srila Guru Maharaj. We'll gather on his first veranda, and there Guru Maharaj singing, Srila Gurudev singing, and the devotees, of course, around engaged in, following the kirtans. Now, these are very special kirtans on Radhastami day. So this day, and I don't recall what year it was, but it was, it wasn't 1980, it could have been 82. Between 1982 and 1987, in that period of time in Navadip. And so Radhastami would be held there. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's appearance and disappearance would generally be held on Srila Guru Maharaj's veranda, and quite intimate, very sweet, with the Bengali kirtan singers following, but the mridanga playing the kartal, the style, very much the style of the singing of Gurudev, and the style of playing the kartals and mridanga. So intimate and sweet. And Sevarupa I saw was outside, I think, at the ashram in Johannesburg, Lenasia, South Lenasia. I saw some video when she was walking just a few minutes ago. So maybe she's not able to find those audios, so she's in the car now. But I can put them somewhere.
Yes, I tried. It is absolute sweetness. I can have the contents. Sorry.
A very choppy internet in the car. But yes, it's absolutesweetness.org and probably can search Radhastami or something like this. But there are recordings, and after the Zoom, you can put them somewhere on the web and send a link to maybe Suresh Krishna Prabhu, who can share it with everyone, or Udaran Prabhu can share it with everybody here. But at the moment, they're on absolutesweetness.org, and they're on my computer and phone. Actually, they're on my phone, not on the computer right now. So anyway, this is one way to hear the mood of the kirtans. And another thing about the kirtans is that, or maybe they're linked from scsmac.com today, are they? Someone can see. But the one point there is that Srila Gurudev is leading high bhajans that we do not actually lead ourselves. Even on this day of Radhastami, we will be very cautious, we would be a little audacious to lead ourselves some of these particularly Radha-centered kirtans, which on Radhastami Gurudev and Guru Maharaj would sing. They have, of course, they have the adhikar, means the quality and qualification to do that. Yeah. Zoom thinks I'm speaking Russian. Very strange. They have the qualification to do that. And we hope to have the qualification to follow their singing. So here in, still in the London Temple, just near the airport here, then we played from the little but loud, surprisingly strong loudspeaker, and we followed as best we could Srila Gurudev leading. And actually, after following 3 kirtans, one after the other, which are in the sequence in the songbook, by the way, then I said to the devotees gathered here, I said, I don't know what you are all thinking, what you are feeling after following from Srila Gurudev's leading, but really, I was transported in place and in time, to a wonderful time where we have the direct association then of Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev, and there on the veranda on this special day of Radhastami. So, Suresh Krishna, you're asking some flavor of how the festivals were observed. And in later years, we know as the 90s came, 90s progressed, and Srila Gurudev went on the world tours, and then devotees started to come in larger and larger numbers. And so the program for Lalita Saptami and Radhastami, they were then held mainly in the Nat Mandir, the hall, the temple room of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, because the numbers increased. Though factually in August, then not so many Western devotees would stay. Only the last few years, the mid 2010, 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then more devotees perhaps stayed. But the fear of the Bengali summer kind of sent devotees either to the mountains or to their homes or somewhere air conditioned. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. But okay, so then we'd have the programs in the Nat Mandir, and Gurudev would lead whenever possible. Otherwise, we would be there in Navadip when Gurudev is traveling in the world. Hare Krishna.
Махарадж, я правильно слышал, что Гурудев, Говинда Махарадж, он больше акцент, даже, скажем, если это правильно будет выразиться, акцентировался на день явления Лалиты. Больше, ну, как это правильно сказать, даже сложно выразиться. Ну, может быть, вы меня поняли идею вопроса.
Well, I do understand the idea of the question, but I mean, really, with full heart, so how full is full? With infinitely full heart of sharing, they shared Lalita Devi's appearance day, and infinitely full heart of sharing, they shared Radharani's appearance day. But without Lalita Devi, we won't have any chance of being recruited to Radharani's camp, to Radharani's service, etc. So this is a discussion by us little souls about very, fine, completely different category of standard of everything of the upper plane, and that presentation by Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. So you can't have one without the other, or the other without the one. And both days full of heart, full of transmission, full of devotion, but full of emotion in the devotional sense, the joy of chanting the glories of Lalita Devi and of Srimati Radharani.
Понял, Махарадж, понял.
Got it.
Тоже мы обсуждали до
We were also discussing before our gathering today with you. We had a question to serve without expecting the results of your service. With that mood, you must come. But regardless, we concluded that we have some expectation and some at least expectation of happiness. Of course, we're doing everything for happiness. And how to harmonize this moment, that we must act with no expectation of results, but at the same time, we all want happiness. Expect happiness, maybe.
Well, there is the general plan, but then there is the focus of our moment-by-moment life. So in the analogy, which isn't perfect for every spiritual description, but the analogy of climbing Mount Everest, in general, you've got that overall plan. Yes, we are going to be successful. We're going to climb Mount Everest. But our daily plan isn't just, I'm going to climb Mount Everest. It is overcoming and giving full attention to our every step, day by day. And if we don't, we do have experience. You can easily step on something rolly, like little rolling stones, like ball bearings. We have this experience, and you can slip and find yourself gone down into the valley below, into the gorge below. So you have to give your attention at every step for what you are doing. And so it's not that it is like only I'm thinking of the goal, I'm thinking of the goal, but rather that general outcome is expected, we can say. But to survive every day, to go forwards every day, that is where is our attention. So we should have that lolium. We've been discussing this word lolium, this hankering, not only a hankering, but great hankering for being accepted in that beautiful plane, but being accepted there, that plane of joy and ecstasy, to be accepted as a servitor. We just want to get a touch of that wonderful service opportunity. And we're not thinking, oh, I don't think I'll do this service. I'll wait for another service opportunity to come because it may be better. I shouldn't just, clean the shoes of the devotees. No, I think I'll wait. A better service will come and I'll be more happy by that. Not at all. We see that whatever is needed for today, we will give our attention there. And it's not fully motivated that, yes, I'm going to do this, so I'm going to get happiness. We do have to leave that idea behind. We've come to the idea by the grace of our gurus that really our desire is simply to be connected as a servitor. And we know that that's our proper position. Then everything will be fine. But it's not really that we are thinking every moment that I want ecstasy, I want to be fine, I. Rather, I'm lost and I know that if I'm connected with some service, then I'll be connected with the family. And then the promised results, they're waiting to come. They're waiting to come by their wish. And it may be crores of lifetimes, as Guru Maharaj was saying. Crores are many more than lakhs. Lakh is 100,000 and crore is 10 million. So it may be a long time. That's not our concern. Our concern is to give attention to our present position and pray that our service attempt may be accepted. So the overall plan, climb Mount Everest. You will be successful, but the daily attention will be on our exact location now and every step of the journey. So be careful and don't just look at the summit and while looking at the summit, fall into the gorge. Hare Krishna.
Позитивный вопрос. Ну, да, я спросил, может быть, у кого-то из преданных есть вопросы, что-то не все я задавал. Okay.
Yes. I have a question for Paramananda Prabhu. Paramananda Prabhu is with us, and it looks like sunset behind him, but I think it's not real sunset. It is imitation sunset. So, Paramananda Prabhu, could you share something about reality, the beautiful, on this, at this auspicious time of Janmastami, followed by Lalita, Saptami, and then Radhastami?
How would I know about reality, the beautiful, Maharaj?
Because you're connected with the agents of that world. That's how you can know.
Well, and that I cannot deny. How much connected? It's a big question, but there is some connection. But I would like to add something to Suresh Krishna Prabhu's question. Like you said, that you understood the nature of his question. Why is he asking that? And we're not impersonalists. Every devotee have some special affection, no particular personality in the upper world. So that was the case of Srila Govinda Maharaj. Somehow he had this very special connection with Lalita Sakhi. And it happened when Srila Guru Maharaj took Srila Govinda Maharaj for Braj Mandal Parikrama. And then later on he inquired, what was the place that was, very special to you? And Srila Govinda Maharaj answered, that was Uchegaon. I don't know what it was. And really, Srila Govinda Maharaj, at least to public, he never said, never disclosed what kind of feelings came to him. But he said he felt something very special in that place. And he told this to Srila Guru Maharaj. And Guru Maharaj was very pleased to hear that. We know about how a spiritual master may test his disciple for a particular rasa, particular relationship. So these are not whimsical questions of Guru Maharaj to Govinda Maharaj. Really, there's a big reason for that. And Srila Guru Maharaj was very pleased with that answer. And it was so special to Srila Govinda Maharaj that after, he would come with the devotees to Vrindavan, and devotees would go to different places, Nandagram, Govardhan, Parikrama, Radhakund, Shamkund, so many other places in the Braj, Parshana, and Uchegaon as well, in the place of Lalita Sakhi. And they would invite Srila Govinda Maharaj to come. But Govinda Maharaj would refuse to go. And some devotees were very perplexed. Why? Why is he repeatedly refusing to go there? Because everyone heard how special is this place to him. So naturally, devotees wanted to bring Srila Govinda Maharaj to that place. But he said, no, I will not go. And then he explained that, he said, what happened that day when I went there is so special to me, so unique, so deep, so sweet, that I am afraid if I go now, I may not have the same feeling. So I would like to cherish and treasure that particular moment of my life. And he also connected that kind of experience to Srila Guru Maharaj. He said it was by his grace that it came to him from Lalita Devi in Uchegaon. And it is a very sweet place, and we've been there in the company of Srila Madhusudan Maharaj several times. And it is sweet, but I had no any transcendental feelings, but very sweet place, no doubt about it. And over there we would hear about the qualities of Sri Lalita Devi and her pastimes. And naturally, when we hear about Lalita, naturally we hear about Radharani. She is all about Radharani. So Srila Rupa Goswami, he explains that she's very bold in her service. She will not hesitate to chastise Krishna in favor of Srimati Radharani, to protect her prestige, to protect her position and promote her position. For Lalita, we can say, and again, it's like Maharaj started it from, I think you were saying it maybe during the Back to Basics, yes, Back to Basics this morning, that we should be very careful thinking this personality is higher, that personality is lower. We shouldn't even enter that particular analysis. It's quite deadly for our spiritual life. But anyhow, see, I even lost the thought I was going. It's so dangerous. So we shouldn't venture there. Yes, it's all connected with, yes, I understand. So she is the fanatic of Srimati Radharani. That's Lalita Sakhi's position. Krishna is secondary. Radharani is on the first place. And in that connection and that kind of description of her mood, I always thought about it, actually. I've been thinking about it for the last 2 days and this morning as well. How is that Shukadev Goswami did not mention anything to the greatest assembly of the saintly personalities in the material world, let's just say? Nothing was mentioned. And how is that possible that we are hearing so much of Srimati Radharani's glories? That will be my question to Maharaj later. We can guess, but when you start thinking about it, it's good to treasure that fortune that came to us without any particular reason. There is no particular qualification we possess that could draw that kind of fortune. To hear so much about the most precious, the most beautiful, the most dear subject to Krishna. And so freely it is given to us, easily accessible. Like Maharaj was mentioning Chaitanya Charitamrita. Read Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's all about Srimati Radharani. Mahaprabhu is all about Srimati Radharani. And like Maharaj was saying, we do not sing the very intimate songs. We do not sing daily the glorifications of Srimati Radharani in certain songs, but actually we do. And again, that is given to us by the grace of Guru and Gauranga. Every day we sing Saraswat Aratik. And if someone can pull the verses, I would guess it's maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, something like that. Those are absolutely beautiful verses dedicated to the glories of Srimati Radharani. So now we're missing Sevarupa, she's very quick. And then Guru Maharaj concludes, how is that possible? That what we're saying, we're glorifying Srimati Radharani in her qualities. And how is that possible? It is not accessible to Brahma, it is not accessible to Shiva, not accessible to Narada. The greatest personalities there are, greatest devotees of the world. And then he's saying, Gaura Bhakta, Kripa Patra, Matra Siddhi Sara. But by the grace of the Gaura Bhakta, the devotees of Lord Gauranga, it is very much possible. And in one of his compositions, Srila Guru Maharaj, I think it was Bhaktivinoda Viraha Dasakam, one of the later verses, he is describing the position of our Guru Varga. And then he is saying, Shirada Bhava, Shirada Padam Savanamrita Mahoya Datum Isha Bhavat. And he is saying that they are the givers of the service to the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani as approved by Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And we have to remember that, even though these are very high subjects. And we don't have to be, we should not be the fools to rush where the angels fear to tread, not to forget that. But we have to remember that. And like Maharaj said, give your best on these days. In fact, every day, give your best. Try to do something. Try to move in that direction. Srila Guru Maharaj once said, it is inconceivable how that is even possible, that we come into the line of servitors under the guidance of Srila Rupa Goswami, under the direct supervision of Lalita Sakhi, exclusive servitors to the divine couple. We are in this line. We want or not, but it happened. This life, it happened this way. So we are to develop some appreciation, and with appreciation will come understanding of what we have to do, and also what we shouldn't do along the way. So all of that will come to us, and we have to be very cautiously proceeding under the full shelter of Guru and Gauranga. And then everything will be revealed to us, like we're talking this morning. So if we have the verses, I'd be happy to read.
Well, I have the verses here because I was happily reading them before. If you wish, I can read, and you can...
Yes, Maharaj, please.
But it's on the PDF. So it is verse 7, which is amazing. This of the Saraswat Arati composed by Srila Guru Maharaj, and about Mahaprabhu, Radha and Krishna on the altar. So Radha Rasa Troyosvada, Rahasya Prayasa, Niraki Prafulla Radha Mukhe Mondo Hasa. So seeing Krishna's mischievous desire to understand the glory of her love, this is Radharani, seeing Krishna's mischievous desire to understand the glory of her love, Krishna's wonderful sweetness that only she can relish through her transcendental qualities, and the happiness she feels from Krishna's sweet love for her. So seeing that mischievous desire, Radharani is very pleased, and there is a subdued smile on her face. In the middle, on the altar, Mahaprabhu, Radha, and Krishna. So in the middle, Banshidhar, the flute player, Krishna, is playing his flute, thinking that only by the wealth of Radharani do I become Gauranga Sundar. My most cherished form is revealed in the temple of Radharani's heart. And that highest manifestation of myself, this is Krishna, obviously, that highest manifestation of myself can be attained only, so inverted commas should have, can be obtained only by worshipping Gauranga. So there we have like Krishna's thinking. And then Nadia Prakashe Mahaprabhu Gauranidhi Patita Pavana Devi Milailo Vidhi. By the Lord's divine arrangement, the supreme savior of the fallen souls appeared in Nadia as the most beloved Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Ruparati Brahma Shambhu Agochara Gaura Bhakta Kripa Patra Matra Siddhisara. This type of divine worship of Mahaprabhu is beyond the vision of even Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva. Only by receiving the mercy of a devotee of Lord Gauranga can one attain such perfection. Then
you can see, Maharaj, everything is in Sarasvat Aratik. The essence of our lineage.
Yes.
The acme of our worship. Everything is there, encapsulated in a perfect poetry. And then Srila Guru Maharaj stresses that point continuously in several verses, saying that her power is such, her love is such, her ecstasy is such, that she converted the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, into a devotee. Mahaprabhu. It is inconceivable. And of course, like we were talking this morning, Srila Saraswati Thakur repeatedly stressed that she is our exclusive object of worship, our exclusive deity of worship. And we should see absolutely everything connected to her. Not to be imitated, not to be forced. It has to happen by the grace. So we have to remember that. Have to happen naturally, natural development of that. But for now, we can serve those who have that higher understanding and pray for their grace. Then that's how it will come to us one day.
And also very important for us all is how Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev always stress Gauranga, which in this Saraswat Arti is here. Gauranga is Krishna himself, but with the heart and the halo of Radharani. And without Gauranga, we would not have any opportunity to understand about the high topics of devotional life or the goal of devotional life. And that is given also in a kirtan, Jadi Gaurana Hoto, if Mahaprabhu had not come. And this is often quoted by Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj. And so when we come, if some of you later today, you'll be in the temples or doing some kirtan, something at home. So it's not that we're just going to jump straight into like Radharani songs. Rather, first is Guru, and then we've got Gauranga, Nitai and Gauranga. And then we will carefully chant some high songs like this, which we are allowed to chant, the Saraswat Arti. And for us to sing the kirtans that are sung during Radharani's month, Kartik, those we can carefully sing and consider. But you will hear, and by the way, Naza very helpfully has put in the link to the kirtans that we've been following here, that we followed Gurudev leading, some specific like high Radharani songs. We can follow their lead, but it is not for us to sing those songs. And by the way, you will also hear Srila Gurudev chanting at the end of one of the songs, and even in the middle of one of those kirtans, Jaya Radhe, like again and again chanting Jaya Radhe. But we do not do that. That is for Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, Srila Saraswati Thakur. And this is from Gurudev, really. And Gurudev saying, in service of Guru Maharaj, at those specific times, he is doing so. But again, as Paramananda pointed out, we are not to imitate them. So it is also a mystic wealth that we're able to hear from 1980s, the sound vibration. At least we can say the sound vibration, but we know that there is extra there within those recordings, which took place in that intimate atmosphere of Guru Maharaj's veranda. So again, we are not to imitate. Perhaps it was in back to basics this morning also, where we were mentioning about some books we know they are written for the liberated souls. And so we do not read them, but there is a need for those books for the liberated souls. We put them on the top shelf and we worship them, and we don't open them. And similarly, there are some kirtans which are for the liberated souls. So we keep those on the top shelf and we worship them. And when the kirtan is opened from the top shelf by Gurudev or Guru Maharaj, then we are privileged to be able to hear, follow along carefully, and not to imagine the descriptions that are given there of Radharani's appearance and mood, etc. So with caution, this is a big thing, very big thing, emphasis rather, big emphasis from Gurudev, from Guru Maharaj, from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Krishnadas Kaviraj, everywhere. And if anybody, not just you, if I am in doubt, if any of us are in doubt, are we allowed to sing this kirtan or not? We don't normally sing it. If in doubt, don't sing it. If it's within like the realms of the high kirtans. Always we'll try to stay on the safe side of everything and to stay on the safe side of what we sing. That also we will stay there safely. And we already have so much, which is Radharani, chanting the glories of Radharani, as with the Saraswat Arti. And as with also the Arti, other kirtans which are taking place. And we already have so much where we are hearing the glories of Radharani in a way which we are allowed to. We've been given that sanction. But it is amazing. Paramananda made the sort of rhetoric question in a way earlier, that how is it that we are able to readily hear the glories of Radharani and Lalita and the Sakhis, which specifically was not revealed by name, at least in Srimad Bhagavatam to the great sages, which was essentially kept only within those private books, literature for the highest souls, up until very recently. And Mahaprabhu, he gave that license, if you like, that sanction, that then Radharani will be identified. She's identified by name. Lalita Devi is identified by name. And you see Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's songs, repeatedly, we've got directly Radha's name there. And so we are we're living in this time where we are very privileged to have this access, and we must not take it for granted. This reminder to ourselves always, this is a great treasure, and things which have never been discovered or openly said before. And even with great commentators, the six Goswamis and Vishwanath Chakravarti, etc. Srila Guru Maharaj shared some topics which he said, I heard, this was my understanding, and I heard that somewhere it may have been recorded in their scripture, but I have not seen it. So in other words, very original things were being revealed by Gurudev, by Guru Maharaj, and brought to our availability, made available to us through their talks. So we must be careful, and we must chant Hare Krishna and first chant the Panchatattva Maha Mantra. Because, and why because? I mean, just because we're told to, yes, but it is the Panchatattva who are giving us the Maha Mantra in this age, surcharged with that Krishna Prema of the original, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, coming converted into a devotee to taste that devotional mood. And that, by the way, is an interesting observation to say, oh, Radharani, such a good preacher, she converted Krishna into a devotee, Gauranga. I'm going to remember that, Paramananda Prabhu. Well,
you made him Krishna conscious, Maharaj.
Krishna consciousness is amazing.
But just one thing I wanted to add. I mean, what you just said is also expressed, is what is on our Nat Mandir, that beautiful verse, Mattala Harijana Kirtana Range, Pujala Ragapata Gaurava Bange. So Ragapat, that spontaneous loving service, is not our property. It is reserved for the higher section. So we're not to imitate, but we're to worship. And really, it's there in a prominent position so that we can remember as soon as we enter our Nat Mandir, we are to remember that. And in that particular mood, we are to proceed in our service. And I just wanted to add about the books. It's an anecdote from Gurudev's life. A simple-hearted Vaishnav, you probably know who that Vaishnav is, once asked, hearing Govinda Maharaj reciting, and he did, I heard it at least twice, in a private gathering, really like a small intimate gathering. Sometimes he will just recite Krishna Karnamrita, verse after verse after verse after verse after verse, and relish it, not explaining anything, he's just relishing that. So one devotee observed that, and he's approaching Govinda Maharaj and saying, well, you're saying that Krishna Karnamrita, Madhura Kadambini, other high books, Govinda Lilamrita, not for us, but you know it by heart. How is that? Gurudev smiled. Well, Prabhu, this service came to me through Guru Maharaj. And the point of that service is, Mahaprabhu brought Krishna Karnamritam. There is a reason why Mahaprabhu revealed Krishna Karnamritam to this world, revealed other scriptures through six Goswamis to this world. So in order it's not to be lost, we are trying to preserve it. And so Guru Maharaj told me, please, you do the editing and you publish it in Bengali so the book is preserved. And maybe one day there will be a qualified Vaishnava who can actually read it and relish it properly. And Gurudev said, and as I was doing that, it's entered my heart, Prabhu. So what could I do? It is all grace of Guru Maharaj. He was smilingly saying all of that.
A beautiful day and a beautiful time to glorify Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, and our preceptors. Our preceptors, the channel, one channel that Gurudev always saying, the one channel, not to go out from the channel. Hare Krishna. Wonderful things. What do you say, Sri Hari Prabhu?
Dandavat pranams, dear Maharaj. Dandavat pranams, everyone. Dandavat pranams, Paramananda Prabhu, and everyone here. It's wonderful to be able to spend at least an hour of this wonderful day with you and with all devotees around. And I'm just here to listen. And it's been a wonderful journey so far. This week, I had the opportunity, I don't know if opportunity is a good word for that, but some people like looked for me because they heard that I'm teaching about the Bhagavad Gita in the teacher training programs and things like that. And these people are coming to me because they studied the Bhagavad Gita, but they studied like in a very dry, journey way. And as I was trying to tell them a little bit about Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, from which they got the version of the Bhagavad Gita and his relationship with Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev, it just struck me like, as Paramananda Prabhu is saying, you know, that we are so fortunate that we got this kind of connection because we are dealing with subjects that we will never be able to understand. And I just told him, you know, you should read that by Srila Guru Maharaj, and then we can talk about it if you want to. But they are not, they're not interested at all. They're interested in knowing that they are a part of something, and this is their fortune now. So at least they got some connection, but we are so fortunate, and sometimes it can be taken for granted. And I'm very happy that I'm feeling in my heart for the past few years that I'm not taking it for granted anymore as I've done before. And it's wonderful to be here and to see through the eyes of such Vaishnavas as yourselves. You know, I'm very glad to be a part of a tiny part of somehow trying to render some service to such souls. So Jaya, Jaya Shila Gurudeva, Jaya Shila Guru Maharaj, and Jaya all wonderful devotees around.
Jai, and all the Ubalandia devotee section, you are all fortunate. You see, Radharani converted Krishna into a devotee. Sri Hari Prabhu converting. In this world, sincere seekers into devotees.
I'm not converting anyone, Maharaj. I'm just telling them I got a glimpse of something that I cannot explain, and I will never be able to. But I know it's out of this world and wonderful, and everything that I can say about yoga or the scriptures or anything that I teach will never touch the dust of that subject. So guys, there are real connections in this world, so let's go. That's it, Maharaj. That's what I'm trying to do in the past few years, and it's wonderful to see these newcomers that I always keep saying are the, in my humble opinion, since I've been in this mission here in Brazil, they are the best generation ever. They are really dedicated and they're really trying their best.
Jai. And actually, not only Brazil, we see now the devotees who are coming. Really, they've come through a lot of things, and now everything is available, and we see so much appreciation for the mature Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness has matured since its first arrival, its birth in the West, if you like. And that's been by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, and Srila Gurudev. And so connecting with them, being nourished by them daily, then the new devotees, a new generation are growing up with very healthy food, without contamination in the food, natural, or say eco-friendly, whatever it may be, but this kind of fully wholesome guidance for spiritual life. So well done, the new generation. Keep us old generation on the path. And dear devotees, we do need to draw to a close. You probably know that people have been coming in the room trying to pull me out for quite a while, and I need to go. But dear devotees, please do copy out that link that's in the chat box for the kirtans led by Gurudev. And so whose voice is leading? Just to be clear, it's Srila Gurudev's voice, Srila Govinda Maharaj's voice. And you'll hear a little prominently who is replying is Srila Guru Maharaj. Now, that may or may not apply to the first two or three, but because I didn't actually hear them, I was listening, we will play the later ones. But you will recognize the difference of the two voices. Maybe Guru Maharaj is leading at the early kirtans which are there. But he must have had a microphone attached to him, because even though others are following louder, then you can hear Guru Maharaj's voice very clearly as he's following on. So it's really a way to be transported in time, but in place also to Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. And everywhere can be a room of Chaitanya Saraswat Mat when we can actually imbibe their mood, their nature, their teachings. So do copy that link. And Suresh Krishnavu, we're all sitting in your living room. You've all been very quiet, but we've been noisy today. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, это очень ценно,
Maharaj,
потому что
so
мы
valuable.
начинаем нашу
Because we
программу,
started our program, we
начинаем
started from some
киртана,
kirtans,
потом
then reading,
чтение,
discussion,
общение,
prasadam, and
прасади,
then,
потом
you know, at the
заключение
end we had
нашего
our
собрания.
congregation and
Это
everyone
всех
is coming
приходится
into our
сразу,
flat
хочется вас
and we
отпускать.
don't want to let everyone out. We've locked the door.
Ну, это очень,
But
очень
a
важная
very
часть
important part
нашего
of our
собрания,
gathering
потому что мы
is that we
можем
can hear from
слышать от вас
you,
то, что мы слышим.
that we hear that
Саду
sadhu
Сангha
sangha,
всегда
very
очень важно.
important. And I think
Я
that if
думаю,
we
если бы у нас
just
просто
had
было
our
это собрание, это
this
было бы уже
gathering on
полное
Zoom, it would
собрание.
already be
Ну,
a full
конечно,
program.
красавчик.
Well, of course, little bit of prasadam,
Тоже
but
неплохо.
still,
То есть это очень
very
огромная
huge
благодарность,
gratitude to
что
you all
все
that you are all
собираетесь,
coming,
вы,
and
Махарадж,
Maharaj, you are
уделяете
giving
время,
us your
Парамананда
time,
Прабhu,
Paramananda Prabhu, and
все
all you
преданные
devotees, you are
делитесь
sharing your
своими
realizations.
реализациями. Это
Very
очень,
much
очень прекрасно.
wonderful.
Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Jai Srila Bhakti Rakshak Siddharth Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Jai Achay Bhaktan Sant Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Guru Gauranga Gantharva Govinda Sundar Ji ki jai, Giriraj Godhan ki jai, Shri Nitai Gauranga Ji ki jai, Guru Parampar ki jai, Guru Varga ki jai, Namacharya Shridas Thakur ki jai, Ananta Kuch Vaishnava Vrindi ki jai, Tulasi Maharani ki jai, all assembly devotees ki jai, Jai Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki jai, Shipal Paramananda Prabhu ki jai, всем собравшимся преданным ki jai, Kolkaratal ki jai, Srila Lita Saptami ki jai, Radharani ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Tagore Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. And all glories to the Latvian Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. And I'm hearing the Russian. And all the assembled devotees, and really the whole world gathered here for this, the program there with you, Suresh Krishna Prabhu, and of course, Hari Gopal Prabhu, well done of surviving another simultaneous translation session. It takes a lot from the computer brain. So we appreciate very much, and we appreciate each of you everywhere, from the far south to the far north, the far west to the far east, with much appreciation indeed. Bancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari. I will leave, but I'm happy to leave you all together. As you wish, you may do. As you wish, you may do. In the best sense. Hare Krishna.
Дадо, Дадо Махарадж. Дадо, dear devotees. Hari Gopal, спасибо за перевод. Дадо. До следующего воскресенья. Дадо.
Мари Гопала сегодня нет, получилось.